The beginning, when you get perfect letter metrics off, you're winning. The first vowel in English you kicking. It's not from the Greek, so the speech isn't shifted. Reminds me of myself, well-rounded with the diction. 5 different sounds, 5 different...
Champion, we remain here. Smack Volume 6 went down live on the West Coast. URL caffeinated. You know what I'm saying? How you want to break this card and these battles down, you know what I mean? Do you want to take it from the top? Shout out to my guys who served. Great job on the hosting too, by the way.
Yes.
Shout out to New Nels on her return.
Yeah.
The red hair, you know what I'm saying, came back and all. But how do we want to go about addressing this event, this battles? I keep it 1,000 too, to be honest. I went back and, searched some of the things.
I think we start from the day before. I think we start with the face-offs.
Okay. Oh, that's not a good start then.
But could it have been a precursor?
Okay, so let me say that. I will say this on behalf of URL and Caffeine, right?
Okay.
It's COVID.
Right.
So they literally, knowing some of the inside stuff, they got to do what they got to do.
Okay.
It's like not much you can do in a situation.
People aren't allowed to sit down anymore, huh?
They can sit down, but a table in front of the courthouse will look tacky, you think? But I would rather be seated. I'd rather be set up somewhere else, something like that. But
Right.
kind of running and gunning, I will say.
Okay.
And it could have been better. I will say this too: stand-up face-offs is not it.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking
Stand-up
about.
face-offs are not it. It's never gonna be it. We've tried them before. I mean, the most successful one we had was Twerk versus Arsonal. Okay. But then it was a crowd of people.
Right.
It was like all of us bunched up.
Right.
Like live on the spot, one camera, pre-recorded.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but normally it's not it. It's never gonna be it.
Yeah.
So
You take away the excitement of somebody standing up and pushing their chair back
Right.
when they get hype and slamming on the table.
Yeah.
You take away all that and it's just like a conversation at that point.
yeah.
And you, the first one, Ill Will and Danny, you get to that point, but you get to that point where you can literally just spin off, all right, man, and it's like, you're out of frame.
Yeah.
I just, I get the idea.
Will said, fuck this interview.
I'm out.
Yeah.
Yaktown in this itch.
That was hilarious. Oh, shout out to Ill Will too. He got Yaktown masks.
Okay.
So y'all make sure to check out Ill Will.
If you give me a link, I'll put it in the description when this drops on YouTube. Also, it's like you give people the range of not looking each other in the eye.
Right.
I can spin this way and talk to them like that. Like I'm not even going to talk to them. Like when you're seated face to face, it's a better atmosphere. It's better tension. It's better everything. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Instead, I still got the AirPod in. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. I listen. I pay attention
to the comment section.
I pay attention to the comment section, so I took it off. But it's just it won't be it because it's not the atmosphere. It's not the feel.
Right.
So on top of that, it looked too good. Like
Okay.
the lens, whatever they had at that particular time, it looked too good.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, why is people saying we in front of a green screen?
Yeah,
I can literally walk in this door like, why am I? In
Yeah,
front
I
of a green
thought
screen?
that too until Anwar sent me a pic. He's like, no, it's not. It's an actual, like you could walk down the block.
Yeah.
So I thought it was. I'm like, oh, they just put
It
a
looked like a
poster
green screen.
behind
Yeah. The cameras was
or a
too
green
good.
Screen. And it's like, what
I was
in
getting
the
mad,
world?
like I'm not in front of a. Did somebody make this up? What are you
Right,
doing?
right,
See
no.
myself, I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
So day one, what wasn't really good, I would say. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
to the face off, but then again, COVID restrictions, people. Let's not pretend like COVID isn't the reason a lot of things don't feel like battle rap.
Right.
Let's
What
just
happened
call
to
it what
that
it is.
big ass caffeine table?
That is
I was
true. The
asking for
gnome
that.
table.
I thought that was, that
Needs to be
that's what they
traveled.
were
Yeah.
doing in lieu of COVID being going on right now. You
But
get
then
the
it-
caffeine table.
It wasn't in the same facility.
Yeah, but they get that.
And then think about this too. So during the whole event, nobody was ever inside.
That's a
We
fact.
was never inside of anything.
Right. We were
There was
outside
no
the
room
entire
inside.
time.
And then even afterwards, when you seen Battle Rap School live on Caffeine, it was in a tent.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not sure how y'all want to break down, the restrictions and how they over go with a few things, but we were never inside of anything the entire time. So when they say you can only have 10 people in the building or 20 people, we were never inside.
Okay.
So there was no building, literally.
Right.
So that's some insight for you right there. But day 2.
Yeah. The
For
actual
battles,
event.
Yeah. And I always say this. I'll start with this. You know what I mean? I keep it real with how good the event was. I don't really trash the leagues, any league like that. But
Right.
as far as this event and me going through Smack Volume, even I forget which one this is. Probably
This
3 or
is
4.
3.
This is 3.
Which was
Yeah,
Chef
they're both
Trez and
3.
Loso,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So Smack Volume 6 is probably the worst volume out of all of them.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. First one was
First
JC
one.
and Averb.
Yeah.
Second one was, I think, Averb and Twerk. Third one, you said this one right
Twerk and
behind
Nitty.
us.
Yep.
Fourth
Yes.
one was O Red and Iron. Like, I'm naming one battle, by the way. I'm naming one battle from these cards, so it's like This was the worst. This is the worst.
The
volume
one
ever.
for this volume here did not go down.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
The one?
The one
Philly.
for this,
Okay.
and the reason why I say that
That's
is,
what happened when Philly's removed. People, you gotta
That's a
keep
fact.
Philly in the equation at all times, man. That's what it is.
That's
Just
a
saying.
fact.
Okay.
But yeah, I feel like what happened with K-Shine and Pat Stay, that just, you know what I'm saying, that had potential to be up there,
Yeah.
but because of how the battle transpired, it wasn't it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
we
then
gonna get
too,
into that.
I mean, they get mad at you, but O-Red, it's in the chat as well. Thank y'all for saying it's in the chat. We did a whole video on this. No O-Red, no Rum Nitty, no Twerk. No matter how much you hate Twerk, at the end of the day, when he's on that stage, it's a highlight reel and he turn Charlie Clips versus Twerk.
Right, I'm
One
about to
round
say-
alone just turned the shit up.
Yeah.
So this volume was never, for this setting, was never turned up.
I would agree. I think that even the higher energy guys, the Danny Myers, the K Shines, there's only so much you could do. And then at some point in time, we got to talk about the temperature.
I don't even want to start with
I ain't
that.
talking about the temperature of the battle rappers. It
Oh
was
my
literally
God.
cold. So it's
Oh my
like,
God.
you know, you had those things going on. The wind is blowing. Like, it's cold out. It was really cold. So, you know, performing outside is one thing, but performing outside in the cold, and then, you know, if you're later in the card, like, shout out to Geechee and Goods for being able to just move around.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I was out that show, like, man, with the hand warmers in my pocket and everything. It was really cold.
I had between battles, we had this little heater, little fan heater thing we had. That's the best. Like, other than that, I was freezing, man.
Oh, man, you
And I had a
should've
shirt, a sweater, and a blazer, and I still was just freezing cold.
I ain't gonna hold you. You should have told me that. They let me bring my car in.
Yeah.
So I was parked on the set.
Oh,
So
wow.
my headlights
Oh,
was
wow.
one of the headlights that you see. And I ended up cutting the car on after like the third battle.
So
just
you was
leaving
good.
it
You
running.
was good.
I mean, kind of, but we'll get to the behind the scenes. Like, you couldn't go but so far.
Yeah.
So they didn't want you walking all the way to the car so that when it was time for the next one, you
Yeah.
could be right there in position. But still, it was. I would agree with you. I think that, you know, it wasn't a bad card, but if you comparing it to any of the other volumes, yeah, it wasn't it. Like,
Yeah, I would say this too. You know, I mean, not to, double down or whatever, but it's like it wasn't bad, but it just wasn't really good.
Right.
Like, every card has either a body, which makes it a lot better,
Right.
or a few crazy battles.
Right, where you're like, oh, we got a potential classic out of this.
Oh, we got this one. Like I said before, First Lady Flames versus Vixen the Assassin.
Right.
It really helped out that entire
That's a
situation.
fact.
Yep.
That's
There
a
was
fact.
no First Lady Flames versus Vixen the Assassin.
Right.
There was no JC versus Av. There was no Rum Nitty versus Twerk. There was nothing like that to say, oh, this is over the top. We just had some solid battles at best
Yeah.
for the entire night.
Yeah.
People had their moments. People had their great performances.
Right,
but as
right.
a whole, it was just solid battle the whole night.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's how I felt. It was like if you go scale of 1 to 10, 1 being abysmal, 10 being, you know, amazing.
Yeah.
It's like smack dab in the middle. 5.5, maybe a 6. But unfortunately, it just is what it is.
Yeah, I gave the event a 5 just
Okay.
because of the scenery. I felt like it just did not I like that, they tried their best to really make it look like a real street corner.
Yeah.
But I just felt like certain angles were off. The way the rappers were facing, obviously, they're going to face the crowd to rap. They're not going to rap toward the camera like they're an actor. Like, you know what I mean? Even though we're on the set.
I would
this
say
is
that's on the battle
production.
rapper, though. That was on the battle rappers.
Yeah, but
Right.
I know
Gives
that's
and
what I was
shine,
gonna say.
you know what I'm
This is a set, but these guys are not actors. Like, you know what I mean? They're getting up there to do a job, and normally they are used to projecting towards the crowd.
Right. Normally
as
the
opposed
cameras
to-
are where the crowd is. That's the normal
right.
situation.
So they're used to rapping in that fashion, and if you put them in a scenery where they're now on a corner and people are watching, they're going to naturally go towards the people who are watching as opposed to the camera. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's why, just certain angles, visuals, things like that just did not sit well with me.
Yeah.
Yoshi G just asked, was Genesis better than this? I think Genesis was better than this.
Genesis had a crowd. Anything with a crowd right now, I miss the crowd.
That is true. Like,
I miss
we
the
keep
crowd.
acting like we don't want the crowds. I feel like
I miss the crowds.
Y'all want them crowds back, trust me.
you want the crowds. I
Yeah.
feel like people was low key too mad as well because you had a crowd there, but we couldn't really hear y'all.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
and
could y'all hear the crowd? So when y'all was watching the footage
No,
at
we're
home,
silent.
could y'all hear the crowd? Genesis was better than this, though. You could say it's bad. Genesis was better than this.
Genesis had some electrifying moments.
Yeah. It was a building with a crowd. Was just a little. It was better than this.
Yeah. I mean,
but you saying you heard the crowd, but did you hear like regularly, like the volume on the crowd was low, was it not? Because I watched it. I watched both.
Yes,
I watched the inside and outside.
We were low because we was cold. Okay, we was cold, and you know it just some of the restrictions of the set. And again, I know where y'all gonna go with this. Oh, caffeine. It wasn't that. It's just you have to have your mask on at all times, especially when we're filming. Like walking around, going to the bathroom, you gotta have your mask on, even though everything's outside. But like during the battles, it's like you standing there. It's cold, y'all. The wind is blowing.
It was freezing out.
Yeah, we standing there, and then you couldn't go like off of certain places like to block camera view, like you know what I mean. So once you got your spot, man, like we were sitting there chilling, and you got some reaction, but we weren't as close to the cameras and microphones. Obviously, the artists have on mics. Shout out to Danny who dropped his mic like 3 times. But yeah, so yeah.
I mean, we can get into the battles now. I mean, I will say, I thought the visuals, you know, I mean, from where I was, it was pretty good to me. Just a certain thing, key elements was missing. I will say that, but we can get into the battles.
I like the fact they tried to do the street corner. And all I said, I said this in the car to someone from URL too, so y'all don't get mad at me. I said, yeah, like I get what they was going for. I said, but that don't look like no street corner that Battles was on back in the day.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
And you'll never, you know, replicate, duplicate what we had back then. It's just never gonna happen.
Right. I mean, they made that correlation showing the Mook battle prior to the event. Like, you know, we're taking it back to the streets, but then when you see this street, it's a little too clean. Ain't no trash.
Right. That's what I said.
Ain't no crackheads walking around.
Right, what? Nothing
like,
going on.
You know what I mean? There's no gates, no fences. Like there's no pit bulls in the background barking. Like you need that feel. Like you need that real grimy feel, and that's what we didn't get. It just looked like Mr. Rogers' neighborhood a little bit. Man.
I will say this, man. It could have got closer together. You know what I mean? I know there's restrictions, but I feel like everybody was tested.
That's the part that I don't get.
I brought this up.
Once we're all tested and positive, I mean, and positive.
Whoa.
I meant to say positive. It's positive. It's positive that nobody has COVID. That's what I meant to say. Because you're tested like the day before. So, and you get the rapid results right then and there. They give you a little slip. I got my slip too. You get a little piece of paper that you got to show. But either way, so like you have that. Once you do that, why we got to walk around with our masks on? We're all secluded. We're in a.
You keep your mask on.
Yeah.
But if you everybody like a nice little huddle up, you know what I mean? Because you know people can't get in.
Right.
You seen like it was a lot of the people that we love and battle coach. They couldn't get in.
That's a fact.
I couldn't get certain people in myself.
Yeah.
So if people can only be there because they got the special test, let's huddle them up a little closer.
Yeah.
Just a little closer for that for that feeling dynamic. So it is what it is. But you know what I mean. And top of that, let's keep it up. It was not one, but with the amount of events that's being thrown, you're gonna have your bad games.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna have your bad games here. Right. It is what it is. Next event, we're gonna see what's up.
Right.
All right, let's start from the bottom of the card.
Okay.
Ill Will versus Danny Myers. I'm gonna start with Rita. Rita, what's up?
This battle was...
It's puffing loud quietly.
It was interesting. Danny did what I expected him to do, and Ill Will did what I expected him to do. Mm-hmm. The votes, and then the votes in the app, and then the responses I was seeing on Twitter were completely different, which was crazy to me, like, in that moment. But I do understand it. So on Twitter, I was seeing, Danny Myers 2-1.
Okay.
And the caffeine vote, I believe, had Ill Will winning 2-1. So it was like... Yeah. It was like, okay, there's the difference there, but I think it was a dope battle. I feel like, Ill Will, he did what he does. He just didn't do it to that high level that I really wanted to see. But I don't know. I don't even know who I have winning in this one. It's a little difficult for me. Watching it the first time. Just watching it the first time, it was like, okay, I like this round, I like this round, I like this round, I like this round. I didn't like this right here, but I still like your round overall. I didn't like this right here, but I still like your round overall. So it was like, is it a toss-up? Maybe. I probably should watch it again and give a definite answer. But, immediately after, I enjoyed that battle, especially for starting the event. I enjoyed it. I've seen some people saying, no, it's not it. I didn't have a problem with that battle starting.
Me neither. I thought, so this is what I'll do for y'all, right?
This is what I'll do for you.
Because I was in the crowd, so I can tell y'all what they were saying. I mean, it was 15 of us. So the consensus after the battle was Ill Will 2-1. First and third, with the second being up in the air, maybe a gentleman's for Ill Will. Mm-hmm. And I think Ill Will went in there. He had some humor. He was attacking Danny's, his character, his situation with his wife and that whole thing and how he battles too much, which I thought was good. But I'm sorry, at this point, you mentioned Danny's his woman and anything with drugs. All I'm thinking about is Mike P's second. So it's like you got it. Yeah. It has to be better than that, or I'm like. Shout out to Snake Eyes. Heard it before. Like, that's really where I'm at with it.
Heard it before.
Heard it. Like, that's really where I was at with it, which I think was in Ill Will's second. So, but yeah, I mean, I thought it was a decent battle. And it was one of those, like, all right, this is the first battle of the night. It's a good battle. Like, we're going to go uphill from here. Again, looking at the card, looking at the names, like, oh, yeah, if this is what we got to start out with from these two, man, this next one going to be crazy. So, that was my thoughts.
The funny parallel universes...
the intersecting universe too. That was
the intersecting universes too. Is that Ill Will and Danny Myers face off was fire, and Ill Will and Danny Myers battle was probably one of the best battles of the night.
Okay,
like low key by default too as well as far as back and forth.
Right.
So,
but I will say this: happens when you do your job. Shout out to DNA. You know, you do your job. You come to work, not play around.
Right. So the votes that I had, I wasn't able to get all the votes because I was doing commentating as well. It's kind of hard to grab them, but the first round they gave it to Ill Will with 4,000 votes. Danny Myers 1,500. The second round was Danny Myers 2,500 or more. Ill Will 1,200. And I don't have the third round. I do got the third round. Here we go. Ill Will with 3,893 votes, and Danny Myers was slightly over 2,000. So they gave it to Ill Will. First and third.
Okay. And that's what we had in the building, too.
And for me, that's kind of what I had when I was there as well. So, but I want to get another watch back. I don't think it's clear. This is debatable to me.
Yeah.
So,
I let me make that clear right now, too. I need to watch. All I have is the live in the building. So, I didn't get to watch the stream. Y'all know I don't do the bootlegs. So, when it drop on the app.
I didn't get a chance to watch anything back. Yeah, literally. I've tried, but, it is what it is. With that battle, too, did they vote against Danny because of his outfit? Is that what happened?
That's another thing. In the chat, there's a lot of discussion about other things besides the battle, and that was one of the discussions. Danny's outfit, his sweatsuit. So I don't know if people was just like, oh, I don't like it. I don't like this first round because of that, because you see people speaking negatively about him. So it makes you want to go ahead and just vote on the other side. Like, you know what I mean? But I still feel like Ill Will had a better round.
Okay.
I think Ill Will had a better first round.
The next one, Chilla Jones versus B. Dot. And this is my thoughts right here yet again. This was not for champion of the year.
That's not what I saw on Twitter.
This is not for champion of the year. Doesn't matter what you saw on Twitter.
I saw it on YouTube. Somebody said, all right, never mind.
Somebody's always saying something, but the official rulings for champion of the year will be dropping this week, as well as surveys. So the conversation can start. Conversation has not yet started yet. You understand? Why ain't this person being mentioned? It hasn't started yet. Why ain't this person? It hasn't started yet.
Right.
All right, with that being said, Chilla Jones versus B-Dot was still a good battle to me. You know what I mean? B-Dot did mess up in the second.
Yep.
Had a few glitches in the third round. Content-wise, material-wise, what I received from all three of their rounds was deep.
Okay.
Intricate, powerful, strong angles. They had a lot for me to digest, and I thought it was a dope battle from the two. I mean, I will get my winner too if y'all want.
Oh yeah, well,
I'll start for me. Stop saying this to me, please. Stop telling me that I picked B-Dot, in the battle when I did. So during the live broadcast, I said Chilla Jones second and third. Shout out to Surf. Surf said B-Dot. Last I checked, I look nothing like Surf. I look absolutely nothing like Surf.
Okay.
I don't sound like him. He battles. He's he Carib. He's all that. I'm wearing red right now. I look nothing and sound nothing like Sue Surf. So don't tell me that I picked B-Dot when I, in fact, picked Chilla Jones winning the second and third.
In the prediction?
Not in the prediction.
Oh, okay.
They told me I had B-Dot after the battle.
Oh, okay.
I had Chilla Jones second and third. I thought his second was better.
Okay.
I think B-Dot would have won. Would have lost that regardless.
The second?
The second.
Okay.
The third, I thought Chilla Jones had a better round. I didn't get to watch. I want to watch one more time before I give a definite. But for me, immediate watch in the building, Chilla Jones.
Okay. You want to go next or you want me?
I have Chilla winning this battle as well. Was not expecting that slip up from B-Dot. I was like losing my mind about that. I know he, in that moment, he had to get it back together, but I know he was kind of losing his mind about that as well. Like, I really didn't expect that. But I had Chilla rounds 2 and 3. I just felt like he was better. His angles were better. He was a little bit more intricate and deeper than what B-Dot was getting into in certain pockets and things like that. So I just feel like Chilla won this one in the last 2 rounds.
Okay.
Like you said, I don't think his rounds, the material was just not enough for what Chilla had.
Okay. I'm going to disagree with both of y'all.
And say what?
Shout out to y'all. So wait, let me make that clear. I have Chilla winning the battle second and third as well.
Okay, then what you disagreeing with?
The fact that the material, I think if B-Dot gets through that material clean, so the first round was the clearest round of the battle, in my opinion. I felt like B-Dot took the first round clear. That was my opinion. The second round, B-Dot has some stuff. Now, but you got to take those points off for the slip-ups and stumbles. He don't have the slip-ups and stumbles. I think that second round is closer, and I probably would have gave it to B-Dot. Like, I liked his material. I liked his material a little more. Now, in the third, that's the one, because the second was the major hiccups for B-Dot. Mm-hmm. He had a little slight one in the third, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think 2.
Yeah, but the third, for me, I'm like, Chilla just, I thought Chilla's material was better in the third, even, without the slip-ups from B-Dot. But the second, I think, if you take those slip-ups out, like B-Dot might have got that one. But no excuses. I talked to B-Dot, and even asking him, like, where do you think? And his whole thing is, he don't make no excuses. Y'all know how B-Dot is, stand-up guy. He takes full accountability. He just said he got to figure out where he went wrong. But that was the battle.
I'll tell you where he went wrong.
What was that?
I mean, when he let the second round affect his third.
Okay.
You know what I mean? He messed up in the second. That's a round you messed up in. Now it's 1-1 going to third. You're starting a brand new day. Fresh start for you. Don't take the pressure from what they saw in the past round, because you still can win this battle.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. I think that's why you went wrong. But, I'm not a battle rapper. You know what I mean? So you probably, shut up, Jay Black. You don't know what this shit is like.
Right.
That's how I felt.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to tell them what happened? That's what really happened, the day before. The day of, you know what I mean?
Oh, that's going to be funny.
Karma hit him, you know what I'm saying? He tried to shortchange you for a mask.
Oh, okay. I'm going to tell the story now.
B-Dot. Neo Soul, brother. Come on, brother, man.
Shout out to B-Dot. Let me tell y'all what happened.
Yeah. This is what happened. This is the T. This is the real T.
Right. Y'all,
championship. This is what's really happening in battle rap, man.
Y'all want me to talk about stuff other than battle rap? Here you go.
Here you go.
So B-Dot has the Elevate mat. We're actually going back and forth because I bought an Elevate hat from him that he didn't recall. So it was like, all right. I told him, remind me to take a picture of the hat and send it to him and tag him. But because it's actually in my car. But so he's got masks. So I'm like, all right, bet. How much are they? So just $10. Cool. Cash app. What's your cash app? $20. He know it's me and Rita. Cash up $20. He come downstairs. Here you go, brother. Hey, it's one mask. I'm like, B-Dot, it's one mask here.
Yeah.
He like, yeah, they $10. B-Dot, I sent you $20.
Wow.
Just saying. There's a whole bunch of witnesses there too. That's all I'm saying.
Wow.
Jeez Louise.
Wow.
You
Brother Dot.
Not give me my Elevate mask?
Right? Beloved Dot.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Rooftop Dot about to get thrown off the
Boss
rooftop.
Dot. What's going on, man?
Trying to figure it out.
No, shout out to B-Dot though.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It was an honest mistake. Let me make that clear.
Yeah, we joke, we gas.
He came right back down with the other mask.
It took care of business, you know what I mean?
That's a
Like
fact.
you should. Shout out to him. Check out his website as well. I think it's B-Dot the Guide or something like that. I'll put in the description below when the shit drop.
Yeah.
But Chilla Jones did his thing. Full credit to Chilla Jones. People are making implications for you, brother. They're saying a lot of things for you, brother, but we'll talk about that later. You know what I'm saying? At a later date.
Okay.
You know what I mean? If y'all have so much outrage on who should win the champion year, maybe you should donate and vote as well.
Make your voice heard.
Make your voice heard. The battle rapper receives everything plus more. So B-Dot should win. Chilla should win. Sean should win. Ill Will, Mom, say whoever you want. Disaster. Go ahead and vote. You know what I mean? Donate. It's going to be in the description box below. They get everything. But the next one, here we go. Arsonal versus Jerry Wess.
Okay.
I warn people all the time. Anwar.
Okay.
Miss Puffin Loud quietly. I warn everybody, like, yo, this man's smiling for a reason. Versus T-Top. We're not gonna get into that debate right now. It's Anwar.
Go ahead.
You know what I mean? But he had something up his sleeve for that battle. This battle's well, even official. He's smiling like Jay Black. I'm on one. He's letting me know, and I'm letting y'all know.
Mm-hmm.
And he was on this battle. I think Jerry West did his thing. All three.
I agree.
The prop didn't work.
We're gonna talk about that.
You know what I mean? Arsonal called it out. He should have tucked it away when that happened. You know what I mean? I heard. So when he's rapping, right? Got the mic here, and Danny Myers is across the street, and Danny Myers is the one that's playing it, right?
Right.
So we barely can hear it.
Right.
We barely could even hear it. Mr. West, I like the name Jerry, but for me, Arsonal won every round.
Okay.
He won every round for me.
Arsonal got to that prop first. That's the problem. That right there was the problem. You know what I'm saying? He resolved all situations right then and there and said, you know what, you're not getting no more rounds.
I have a theory.
And then he still had the prop. Like, I would have had to make a decision at that point in time. Like, do I even still go through with this?
Exactly.
Should I still? I would have had to set the signal, like, sit down, take that out of here. Like, we've already been figured out. Like, you know what I mean? You gotta end that whole situation. Like, he has to. It works in the room, right? In the room with the crowd. It works on the stage, right? Because there's a crowd there. We can hear it louder. You know, we're reactive right away. But in this type of setting, it just, for some reason, is not hitting. Like, you know what I mean? There is no instant reaction from, you know, let's just say between 300 to 2,000 people. There's no reaction right away. The reaction is people typing in caffeine. You know what I mean? So you're not getting that.
Could y'all hear on the thing?
So I had my AirPods in, volume all the way up. I could hear it faintly.
Barely.
I could faintly hear it, but I had to like really pay attention. Like, the prop. Let me listen.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like, you know, but I understand people saying like they could not hear it. Like if I was just watching it at home on a laptop or on a TV, probably wouldn't have heard it.
Okay. Well, for me, I got a couple of theories here. I'm gonna get my conspiracy theories on. Jerry West did just beat Danny Myers pretty clearly at that event out in LA, right?
Yeah.
So he stood right in front trying to fiddle with the, you know, get the situation together in the first round. And it's not coming till the third. I don't know, Danny. Did you sabotage Jerry West?
Wow!
Did you pull the little speaker thing out, make sure Arsonal could see it? Like, I'm just saying, veterans, you know what I mean? Danny's a vet, Ars a vet. Maybe I'm just saying.
This is interesting.
I'm just saying conspiracy
Danny
theory.
Myers sets up Jerry West.
Conspiracy theory.
That's the headline.
Wow.
That's my own conspiracy.
And that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. It does. Danny was sitting there with the smoke coming out his head when he stood in front of Jerry, so he wasn't getting get back.
Oh, you want 30 me, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I got you get 30. I got Wes.
But for the record, y'all, I'm just playing, okay?
Yeah.
That's a fact. But no, I think that Jerry did well. But I agree with y'all. I had Ars all three rounds. And the one thing I will say is this: Jerry got to this point. He had the Glue Easy battle. No props all year.
Yeah.
You wait till this one, this environment. When you get there and you see what's up, you got to look at that and say, yeah, this probably ain't gonna work. I think that he's still talented. Like Jerry West has been doing well in all of these battles. He won in some names. He's been getting the names. I don't have him beating many of them that he got this year, but he's been doing well. So I think he should continue to get plates and you know, test himself. But
I think this was a learning and growing year for him. Like, you know what I mean? You got the test that you wanted.
Okay.
You should have learned some things now. 2021, new clean slate, new year. Start off a little bit differently. You know, go into that year with a different objective and be effective. And actually let us see that change. Don't just say it or, you know, we need to actually see that change and see what you've learned and how you've grown over this last year with what you've been given.
okay.
All right. I guess we all got it. I mean, the chat. Let me see what the chat has for this battle.
Yeah. Because I've seen a lot of people talking about it.
Yeah. Let's see what they got to disagree. We in the chat right now with it. Comments. Everybody's saying Ars. It's 21-0 Ars right now.
Okay.
But they saying like, okay. It's 31-4 Ars.
Yeah.
35-5 Ars. Come on.
Let me tell a very short Arsonal story too, because again, y'all can say what y'all want about me. It don't matter. I pride myself on speaking from that fan perspective And the day before, I was hanging out with Ars, and I was just chit-chat, just shooting the breeze. And I don't think he would get upset with me sharing this conversation because it's pretty short, sweet, and direct. I told him, I asked him, I said, yo, like, you really been doing your thing this year. Like, you've been the artist that people talk about from Mount Rushmore, yada, yada, yada. And I phrased the question, and I might have phrased it a little wrong, but I phrased the question. I said, what made you start giving a damn again? Like, just ask it.
Yeah.
And his response really made me say, damn, when you go back, what's the battle everybody thinks about most recently where he was really just playing around? The Av battle.
Yeah, Av battle.
And he says, he said, people say that all the time. He was like, he said, it's not that. He said, I've been doing this long enough. Sometimes you know when they just not rocking with your material.
Yeah.
He said, when they not rocking with me, they just not rocking with me. So at that point, I'm going to get through my material. I'm a professional. He said, but I have never, taken a battle and just was like, I don't care. I'm going to just get a check.
Yeah.
So for y'all that you know what I mean, talk about Arsonal. I was one. So the same way I'll sit on this platform and say it seemed like he didn't care. Now that I've had the conversation with him and cleared it up, I want to make sure that, actually that wasn't on this platform. That was an old champion. So I probably could have got it.
2.0.
But just so y'all know.
Things are a little different here.
But Ars is back. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I can't wait to see what's going to happen next year for Arsonal because this run that he's on right now, if he keeps on next year, might get a little.
I mean, there's another thing I want to talk about the Arsonal. He called out a few people, one person. So we're gonna talk about that a little later.
Okay.
But I think the next battle on the card.
What was that? What was it supposed to be? No, go ahead.
T-Top and
T-Top and Easy.
Easy the block captain.
The beginning, when you get perfect letter metrics off, you're winning. The first vowel in English you kicking. It's not from the Greek, so the speech isn't shifted. Reminds me of myself, well-rounded with the diction. 5 different sounds, 5 different